When you start your business, no one ever prepares you for what's in store. So, finding someone else who just gets it is sometimes the thing that can keep you pushing toward that big business goal.
We're turning our Zoom coffee chats into a weekly, unfiltered podcast for online business owners. They were so good, we always wanted to record them and repurpose them for content, anyways. And that's on being a social media manager.
I'm Jessica Sheehy.
And I'm Madeleine Digan, and this is
#managed. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of #managed. Hey Madeleine, how's it going? How was your weekend?
It's going good. This weekend was kind of uneventful. So, Brennan and I went to Pennsylvania. His godfather unfortunately passed away, but which was sad, but it was a great service. And I joked with him, I was like, so where we were in Pennsylvania was probably 30 minutes away from Gettysburg. And I was like, can we go?
Yeah,
And
did you go?
we did no, we didn't. So now it's kind of an inside joke because I was giving him a hard time, but I understood. Like we wanted to get back and
Yeah.
have some time to just debrief and relax a little bit. But yeah, I was just giving him a hard time. I was like, all because we didn't go to Gettysburg. And
Mm-hmm.
so that is now the inside joke in the Digan family.
I love that. I love that. I feel like that's so typical of like when Ryan and I travel, like we're always so like on the cusp of, but again, like you said, you guys wanted to get back on the road and like back
Mhm.
home. So, well
Yes.
now
How
you'll
was
just have
your
an excuse to go back.
Yes. How was your weekend?
It was good. It was good. I think I talked about last week on the podcast how I'm moving soon, and actually since we're recording, I'm moving next weekend. So, I no have not packed anything yet. I feel like honestly for like weeks and weeks people have been asking me, like friends and family are like, "Oh, have you packed?" Like, no, I have not. Like it really, like the real ones know I'm a procrastinator. Like I mean, like Maddie Harmony knows, like I'm a procrastinator on all the things, work things as well. And so anyway, we haven't started packing yet. That's this weekend's plan. So that'll be in next week's recap. But
Mhm.
we spent the weekend just trying to do like all of the things we want to do before we move, like going to like this restaurant, going to this park, like going to like this lunch spot. And so that's what we spent our weekend doing, just trying to go to like our favorite, like we went to our favorite sushi spot, like did a little
Ooh.
like window shopping in a couple of towns that are nearby to us, which I feel like is even more fun than regular shopping sometimes, like especially when it's really like fun boutiques and stuff. And then we went to a Mets Braves game, which I grew up, if you guys know, I'm from Atlanta. So I grew up a Braves fan. Like my family was huge Braves fan. I probably went to like, I don't know, I can't say hundreds. That's probably an over exaggeration, but I went to a lot of Braves games growing up. And so that was kind of fun. But now, over the past couple of years, since we've lived like in Hoboken, New Jersey, and where we live in like Southern Connecticut now, I'm kind of like a Mets fan. And I know that's like so rare. Typically, like only Mets fans are like those from like, New York and Long Island. So I'm an honorary Mets fan. So anyway, it was so fun. But one thing that I love about the Mets fields, it's at City Field, they
Uh-huh.
have the best food that any ballpark that I've been to has had, and
Okay.
so that is, like, a really big reason why I just love going. It adds to the experience.
Wait, I love this though because okay, so it's fitting because I'm wearing my Boston Red Sox
Oh, you
hat
are, I
today.
didn't yeah.
But okay, so I have this theory. You're kind of going to prove my theory wrong, but go with me. Like, hear me out. So I
Okay.
have this theory that there are three types of girls. You have the Boston Red Sox,
Mhm,
the New York Yankees, and then
mhm,
the LA Dodgers. And what I mean by that is,
mhm.
would you not agree that in like boutiques or even like big chain stores, those are the three hats, the three baseball
Yep.
caps I feel they always have, and I feel all three have different aesthetics. And then of course you have everybody else. Like yes, you have the Mets and you have the Cubs. I would put the Cub girlies in
Mhm.
there too because that's a
Yeah.
very Midwestern
Yep.
style. But What do you like, is that I've said
No.
this theory to my best friend Allie, and she's like, "I think
Mhm,
you actually might be onto something here, because she's for sure," and, like, she doesn't even watch baseball,
mhm,
but she is w hands down an LA Dodgers, like, the Cali chic,
mhm.
like, that is her vibe.
Yeah, I like
That
that.
is her
No,
vibe.
I agree because honestly, I didn't know where you were going, but I was staying with you while you were going through that, and I'm like, I can picture them because I know, like, even
Right!
being from even being from Tampa, so, like, Tampa's team is Tampa Bay Rays, and that's Ryan's team, so he gives me so much hate for not being a Tampa Bay Rays fan, but technically I moved to Tampa, then moved out, now I'm moving back, so anyway, like, I do go to those games and support, but even, like, living in the Tampa Bay area, Tampa Bay area, even, like, Miami as well, because I feel like Tampa and
Mm,
Miami are very, like, big
mhm.
city, like, very, like, Miami more, like, fashion forward, but when
Yep.
you're there, to me, like, those are New York Yankees girls, like, in Tampa, in Miami.
Hands
Yeah.
down, and I would also say that the New York Yankees girlies and the Mets girlies, also
Mhm.
2 different vibes. If we were gonna get very specific like that, because I think I even made that comment to Brennan, because we watch a lot of baseball.
Mhm.
First of all, we watch a lot of sports in this apartment, but baseball has been obviously on a lot lately, and I even made that comment because, as you all know, like, we're gigglers, and Hannah has been wearing her, like, meats but Mets,
Mhm.
and I think in one of the recent episodes too, she's like, "It just depends on my mood and who's doing well in the season," like, that's how
Yeah.
she kind of
Spoken like a true Mets fan, if you know, you know.
Yeah, yes. So, I again, different vibes, but
Mhm.
okay.
Yeah, I like
S
that's so funny, and so yeah, that's so funny, and I will say too, like, I maybe because I've moved so many times in my life, so please, like, don't come for me if you are, like, a diehard fan of any of these teams. I like to
Right.
go for the experience. I feel like it's an experience to go to a baseball game, honestly, any sporting event in real life, I feel like is a good moment to, like, have fun, like, go with friends, like, go with your significant other, like, eat
Mhm.
good food, like, I mean, I mean, is there a better combination than, like, a hot dog and a baseball game? Like, to me, like,
No.
no,
No.
you need I will say so, Madeline, I think you'll think this is so funny. So Ryan and I, like, we ate a bunch of, like, food, and then kind of towards the end of the game, we were like, "Okay, we need to get a hot dog because we haven't gotten one." And we're like, "We've already eaten so much food." We're like, "But we can, like, share a hot dog, like, that's easy." So, anyway, so we got a hot dog and we, like, put our, like, ketchup or mustard, sorry if you're, like, a Chicago Cubs fan, I just said ketchup on the hot dog, and you guys are gonna come for me for that.
No, wait, is that a thing? Because I went to school in Chicago, if you guys didn't know, now you know, but so, like, the Cubs, I have a soft spot for the
Mhm,
Cubs. I was also there when they won the World Series, which was epic,
mhm, for
iconic.
sure.
But what do you mean? I
So,
put
like,
ketchup
you're
on my
not
hot dog.
okay, so this is so random, and I also don't know. So my grandfather always used to tell me this, and I'll have to send it. There is one place that I think's near the Cubs stadium that they do not serve. Like, if you ask for ketchup on a hot dog, like, I don't know, they'll probably, like, throw you out. But right next door, there's like Heinz or one of the ketchup brands has, like, literally a ketchup stand where you can. So anyway, I'll have to find it, but
Yeah,
it
yeah.
is a thing. So anyway, and so,
Okay.
back to what I was saying about that, so we get the hot dog, and I'm like, "Okay, like, hold on really quick, like, phone eats first." And I feel like I've really trained Ryan for that, except sometimes he just forgets, and I'm like, "No, like, hold on." And so, I was, like, going to throw something away really quickly, but I had told him just beforehand, like, "Hey, I'm gonna take a picture of a hot dog." Okay, Madeline, if you were to envision, like, what I was gonna capture content-wise, I'm gonna capture the hot dog behind the
Y
stadium, right?
yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes. Yes.
So, Ryan takes a picture dead on
No.
of
No.
of the hot dog and sends it to me, and it's literally, like, in my messages, and I'm like, "What is this?" He's like, "You wanted a picture of the hot dog." I'm like, "Oh, no, 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 I'm so disappointed. I feel like I should have done better to train you to know, like, what that picture was supposed to be." So, oh my gosh.
Brennan would have done the same thing, though,
Mhm.
like, 100% would have done the same thing. Eh yeah.
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 Oh my
Is
gosh. All right. Well, before we like get to like have to change our category on here to sports podcasters, like
Yeah.
I don't know, might need to do that. Should we go and give our grades for the Lily Pulitzer rebrand?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Who do you want to start? I'm good with either, but what do you think?
You go first, you go first.
Okay, so I Madeline and I have not revealed our grades, and
Mm-mm.
we're either on the same page or we're way off. So I think this is gonna be so fun to
Okay.
figure out. So I'm gonna go off on a limb and say that my grade, and I don't it's so funny, I feel like sometimes when I grade things, I give a plus or minus, and I'm not doing
Say
that.
okay.
I'm going 1 letter. I've
Ooh,
got 1 letter in mind,
okay.
and honestly, I'm coming in harsh. I'm giving it a D.
Okay, okay, mine, I gave it a C minus.
Okay, we're
Oh,
right there.
so is yep.
Yeah, yes. Because I don't know if you guys remember, and if you didn't listen to last week's episode, definitely go listen so you know why we're even grading them in the first
Mhm.
place. But Madeline, you mentioned the company that they were so similar to that font and
The
um
Eli Lilly, it's giving
yes,
Eli Lilly.
yes. And so I had shared that I was recently like, like driving and I saw like the logo of like Lily Pulitzer like on the side of this
Mhm.
building. I I did not. I saw the Eli Lilly logo on the side of the
Sta See? See?
Yep, yep.
That
And
is
so, for that reason,
mhm.
I have to grade them so low, like, I have to grade them so low on the rebrand because to me, why you would carbon copy another brand and get rid of something so iconic? I don't know, to me, it makes me scared of what's gonna happen with the designs of, of their
The
yeah,
patterns, yes. Yep.
yeah.
Okay, yep. And I'm giving it so I that, but also just it what the grand reveal.
Mhm,
Like, I expected more, like, you're this iconic brand, and also, I feel like after we did Vera Bradley's grading too, in my mind, I really liked their brand ambassador. So now also
mhm,
lately I've just been thinking about brand ambassadors in general. If you've been
mhm,
watching my Instagram stories this week, if you know, you know, we'll get more into that. But okay, this is on a whim. I don't even have anybody in mind. So maybe this is again a continuation. But if
mhm.
you had to pick one brand ambassador for Lily Pulitzer, who
Mhm.
would it be?
Mm, that's a really
My
okay. Oh, do you have one?
no.
Okay, I have one, but it's so random and out there, but it just might work.
Okay, who?
Okay, so the first person who popped in my head, and I don't know okay, let me explain it as well. I think Blake Lively, because is she not playing Lily in
Mm,
With Us?
mhm, mhm,
And so
mhm.
but I also think she has such a unique style that I think if anyone could, like I don't wanna say bring Lily back because I don't think it's gone anywhere. Like,
Mhm.
the Lily, like, loyal, like, customers are still, like, loving and buying the prints. But I think if anyone could bring it to, like, other, like, groups of women, I think it would be her, like, to really, like,
Uh,
style it differently.
Also, if you would put Blake, like, I take my money because this morning, this is not something I put on my feed, but she's coming out with a hair brand, like her own hairline,
Oh,
and it's
so
gonna be at Target. I literally was like, take my money. Take my money. She's been working on it for 7 years. 7
oh,
years because I think she's a Virgo, but that's besides the point. But it's definitely giving Virgo energy if that is the case. But I'm just like, "Take my money." Anything Blake Lively does, because again, she's my jewelry influencer icon.
mhm.
Icon! And we're gonna get in more into that, but
Yeah.
okay, I love that. I
Yeah.
was gonna say so I did think of one. but she has her own brand, and I feel like her brand is very similar. So I don't
Mhm.
know if it would ever work, but Reese Witherspoon, because Draper, right? What's her
Yeah.
James?
Yeah, Draper James.
Draper
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
But
No,
maybe that could be a cool collaboration. Maybe that could be a cool
100%.
collaboration.
Yeah, 100%. Because I think too, like, again, like Reese Witherspoon, obviously like multi-generational like influence, and I think
Mhm.
her brand is so complementary to like what Lily Pulitzer is. I like that.
Very,
Yeah.
very Charleston coastal, and because I feel like Blake still gives coastal, but to me, again, she's the LA Dodgers fan.
Mhm.
Reese is I don't know what Reese would be.
I don't
Maybe
know.
Red Sox? Because I like
Yeah. Yeah, I could see that. Yeah, because Reese, I'm thinking more, Cape
More
Cod.
Cape Cod. Yes. Yes. Same page.
Yes, same page. I knew we'd get to that level at some point in the
Mhm.
podcast, and we did it before we even reached our 100th episode. And
Right.
honestly, too, like if you guys are very new to the podcast, Madeline is a new addition in this year to the podcast.
Mhm.
So we did it in such a short amount of episodes. But yeah, no, I think ooh, I like both of those ideas. I think, Madeline, I don't know, we need to start like calling these brands, like
I
emailing the
know.
managers, like, hey guys, we have these like really good ideas for you.
Yep. Yep. Oh my goodness. Okay, should we get into our weekly reports?
Yes, let's do it. I'm so excited. This is like I love all of our segments equally, but this is like
This
my new favorite.
same. And I know that in our planning meeting, like, we both actually planned it
Mhm.
in advance. Not that we don't, but sometimes we'll be like, "Oh, what am I treating myself to this week?" So,
Right.
I will start. So, okay, reading. I'm almost done with Husbands and Lovers, and I cannot wait to give you guys my full review. It is so good. It's kind of moving slow, but I think that's also because I'm only reading 10 pages a night.
Mhm.
Like, that's kind of my to read 10 pages a day, but I get like I'm get excited to go to bed because I'm like, "Oh my gosh, where do we leave off?"
Mhm.
It's like your show. Then eating, you're gonna make fun of me for this. But my current hyperfixation is PB&Js, like a good old-fashioned PB&Js. I don't know what it
Now I'm like
is.
craving that. You
I
can't go
just
wrong with the PB&J.
no, no, and I'm a Jif stan like, I am a creamy
Mhm.
Jifs fan.
Yes.
Brennan likes crunchy
Same.
peanut butter that kind of makes me gag every now and then.
Yeah.
I have to be in the mood for it, but
Yes.
I'm just more the creamy peanut butter person.
Yes.
Then playing, I've made and I'll include it in the newsletter, but I have this amazing gardening playlist, and it's awesome in my opinion. If
Yeah.
you know, you know, but
Yeah.
it's full of 90s. It's just a good
Mhm.
feel, and I've been listening to it in the morning to, like, hype me up because it's been hard to get up in the morning lately. Not in a, like just the bed's been so warm and you're just like, "Ugh, I don't wanna get out
Mhm.
of
Yeah.
bed."
Yeah.
So, I'll be
Ooh.
sure to I'll be sure to include that. Then I'm obsessing over becoming a jewelry influencer. I didn't. So, if you didn't know, I've been posting my daily jewels to my Instagram stories this week, and I'm going to continue to do so. So,
Mhm.
if you're listening to this, just head on over to the Buzzing Blondes Instagram story for today's jewels.
Mhm.
But in all seriousness, I I don't know. I made that is a joke, but I also think I am re how do I wanna say this? I've always loved accessorizing in jewelry, but since working at the boutique that I'm working at, my love of fashion, I guess I should say, is
Mhm,
really starting to come out, and just I feel like I'm trying to dress as my higher self. That was one thing that I put on my 2024 mood board, and I'm trying to lean into it where I'm just like, how does my higher self dress? And she
mhm,
accessorizes with hats, with jewels, with all the things.
mhm,
So that's what I'm obsessing over. Then tying that into what I'm recommending, and just wait, there may be affiliate link here soon one day, but the brand's called Coordinates Collection, and I tag them, and of course they reach back out because we that's a continuous theme I think we've been talking about, is tagging the brands and being strategic with your tagging. But I have 2 pieces from them. I have a bracelet, and it has the coordinates to London, which is my favorite city in the entire world. And then the necklace, that it's where Brendan and I first met, or where he first came and visited me in Chicago, and on the back he has like our dating anniversary. So it's like a very sentimental piece. And I think that's
mhm.
why I love jewelry so much. And
Yeah.
Blake Lively, like, she always that's why I've always loved following Blake, because she will tag small businesses. She will tag the hole in the wall restaurant that she went
Yeah.
to, and
Yep.
is like, "But your food was so good." And same with the jewelry. And, like, she's given like, her jewelry has been Easter eggs, if you didn't
Mhm.
know that, like, for Taylor. And just also, side note, did you see that they finally announced their 4th kid's name?
Yes. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
It it's like, I don't even want I'm gonna butcher it. It's like Olin, like
Yeah.
Olin, something like that.
Yes, I don't
Anyway,
know the
that was
pronunciation, but yeah.
but that was just okay, side note. But yeah, I'll be sure to link the coordinates collection as well in the newsletter. And then the last thing is, I'm not necessarily treating myself, but Brennan's treating me this upcoming weekend to a date. So we're going to Tennessee for my college roommate's wedding, and we don't check into the cabin until Saturday at 4. And he was like, "Do you wanna go early?" Because 'Cause we're driving. I
Mhm.
love that drive. I absolutely love that drive. We're
Yeah.
gonna be going through the Smokies,
Ooh, yeah.
and he found this brewery. I'm not a beer drinker per se, but they have a taco bar, so he knew. He
Ooh,
knew
yep,
that I was like, "Okay, yes, we can go there." So I'm excited about that, and that
yeah.
is my weekly report.
Ooh, I love that. All good things, all good things. Okay, I'll dive into my weekly report. So
Yes.
for reading, I am reading The Next Mrs. Parrish, which is
Yes.
the sequel to The
Mhm.
Last Mrs. Parrish. Stay with me there. But
Wait, I didn't even
because
know there was an oh, wait,
yes, well,
no.
it's the
Did I
new
read that?
just
I
came
don't know.
out a couple of months ago. I think a few
Okay,
months
maybe okay. I don't know if
ago.
I've read that.
And so it's a sequel, but it's so confusing because the last is the first and the next is the second. And I just
Okay.
again, I had to go open up my Kindle before I was doing my report. I'm like, "What am I even reading?" But it is so good. I've been reading probably like 10-ish pages as well, like per day trying to get through it. And honestly, by the time I like start reading it at night, by like the 10th page, my eyes are so heavy and so I'm like,
Mhm.
"Okay, I'm done."
Mhm.
I'm like in my like earlier bedtime like era, but it's such a good book. So I really recommend both of them. You can always kind of like, Google them and if you're confused about the order, but such a great storyline. So I'm really excited to keep reading that and to finish that. For eating, I was trying to think because Madeline, you inspired me last week when you were like, okay, what am I fixating on? And I'm like, okay, I fixate on a lot of things, but I think for a while I wasn't. But currently this is so random. And this is like all of like my recipes that I'm being shown on like TikTok and even on my Pinterest feed as well. But I am, like, really into, like, chicken salad at this moment, and it is
Oh.
not, like, a
Mm.
new thing by any means, but
Mhm.
I'm just obsessed with chicken salad. I think it makes, like, a great sandwich, but it's also great to just eat. if I'm being honest, on its own or, like, with crackers or something.
Mhm.
And so I think that is, like, what I'm fixating on. Probably will for a while because you can really customize, like, what you put in it, like, if you wanna put a little fruit, a little nut, like
Do you guys have or have you heard of the chain chicken salad lady?
mhm, yep, so I that's in
Oh,
Tampa. We don't have
so
it, like,
good.
up here, but I used to like, when I used to work my marketing job, before doing 2 jobs before doing Social Savvy, I would go there every week and, like, buy, like, a tub, and,
Mm,
like, that would
mhm.
literally be my lunch for, like, several days because it was so good. So yeah, I'm excited to be moving back to the Tampa area because I feel like I just need that in my life. It's, like, the best, like, it's fast food, but it's, like, it's better for you, like, you can get, like,
Right.
healthier things, you're not eating fried food, so that's how I'm looking at it.
That's how I look at it, so I love
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So, yep, so that's good. So for playing, um, I'm kind of like going back and forth. I've been watching a couple of like random things on Netflix, but honestly, like I'm gonna put Olympics for this. I haven't been
Mm.
watching as much as I probably have in like years past. I don't know. Maybe I'm just like in a busier season now than was like mini Olympics ago. But yeah, I'm just really like loving watching the Olympics. I'm really bummed that they're in Paris and they're what are they, 5 hours ahead of us? So, I see everything on TikTok before I even watch, so I think that is a bummer.
I woke up at 5 AM on I think it was Saturday when the girls competed
Mhm.
because I was really convinced we were gonna get
Yeah.
Reputation Taylor's version. I was hopeful. Joke's on us, I clowned, I know. But I would agree with that, like, I love the Olympics and, the women's gymnastics, I hands down have been watching, but, like, the other
Mhm.
stuff,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been on in the background, but
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's like the best, like, filler to have on, like, when you're working or, like, cooking or
mhm,
anything, so, yeah. My obsessing over bear with me, guys, on this one, like, this is something that I thought about this even before we did our, like, planning call earlier, and I'm like, "No, you know what? I'm just going in on it, and I'll explain it," but I'm obsessing over vlogs at the moment, and more
mm,
so because Madeline, Harmony, and I are like, we're joining our influencer era. And I think I hinted last week, and it's so fresh and so raw, and I can't go into details in this very moment, but we had a little interesting incident with some influencers that we were working with. And it made me really think about like influencing as a whole. And one, the kind of influencers that we want to partner with as a social media agency, like who we want our clients to partner with, and then I was really thinking about, like, I watch a lot of vlogs. Like, most of the content I watch on TikTok are vlogs. And I also really love YouTube. So I like every day, like on my little like lunch break throughout the day, I've got my chicken salad and I'm watching a vlog on YouTube on my computer. And I think a big piece of that is I watch this content and again, I think this really speaks to, like, we know and you all listening know, like, content creation is no joke. It is not like a simple thing, turn the camera on, post the content. And I feel like what I've seen lately with vlogs I've watched is people are posting videos and they're not posting content. Does that make sense? Like, they're sharing random clips and they're putting it together with some cool track on the background and some little text stamps, and then they're calling it a vlog where it's like, where's the story? Where's the meat of everything that's supposed to be in there? So, it's really made me think, like, this is my favorite content to consume, and but, like, why I don't create any vlog content, and so one thing that I think I'm gonna do, and I think I know I need to wait until after we move here, like, in a week and a half or so, but when I, like, get settled, like, into Tampa again and I'm getting back into, like, old routines and new routines and just really working and things, like, I'm gonna just honestly, I'm gonna turn on the camera and I'm just gonna film, like, the good, bad, and the ugly, and then from there, I can kill myself editing it together, like, into a video, but I feel like if I don't just do it, like, I don't just film it, I'll never film it because I'll think like, okay, I need to make this like really perfect and do all these things. When honestly, like a couple months back, when I was like reporting here on the podcast that I was loving TikTok, like I just was recording random clips on my phone and like the most random but like authentic days in my life like did the best, which no surprise there.
I I feel like both you and like, obviously, same page. I also always feel like we're on the same mind wavelength, but I feel like something's been in the air because I feel the same way, just even about going on my stories. Like, it
Mhm.
had been a while since, like, there was a time where I would post, and like every single day, I would even do like my daily to dos. I might bring those back. Sometimes I like get it. I'll create content, and if I give myself the ick or the cringe, I'm just like, no, we're not posting that.
Mhm.
But if we think about it, being a content creator is cringy, but in the
Mhm.
where it's like you got to just do it for you, and it makes me excited because today's Wednesday, and I've been pretty consistent each day posting like my actual face, and the engagement I get is like charging my battery
Mhm.
because I'm like,
I
"Oh,
like that. Yeah.
you guys actually do like hearing from me. Like,
Right.
oh, you guys actually do like what I'm saying. Oh yeah,
Mhm.
okay. I guess I am kind of good at this." And I hope that doesn't make me sound conceited, but
No, no, no.
sometimes again where I'm like, it's just our parent. I don't even think my parents listen to this podcast. Let's be honest here. Where I'm like, to the three listeners, shout out Amanda, we love you.
Mm.
Like, where I'm like,
Mm.
sometimes I'm like, are we speaking to the void? And
Mhm.
so it is just, and I hate that. I hate that
Yeah.
even like me posting, and if it gets like 3 likes, it's still hopefully this is real and raw. Again, that's part of our slogan. That is
Mhm.
what this podcast is, but it still does. It kind of messes with you because then you're just like, well, what do they actually want to see? What do they want to hear? I
Mhm.
thought it was good. And obviously, we're social media managers. Like, I'm not going to post something just because I think it's good. I'm going to post it because I do believe that it brings value or something. So when you
Mhm.
see that low engagement, you're like,
Yeah.
well, poo.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. No,
So
I think
I'm pumped. I'm pumped for our influencer era because I actually we've been manifesting it, but I feel like honestly, like
Mhm.
come Christmas time, if we don't have all the affiliate links for our audience, I'm gonna be like,
Mhm.
I don't know what I'm gonna be like, but we're gonna have them. We're gonna have them. So just
Yeah.
get
It's happening.
excited. We don't know
It's
what they
happening.
are yet. It already happened. We have them. We just don't really know what they are.
Mhm. Exactly.
Jewelry of some sort, food of some sort.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agree. Agree. It's already happening for us and in our favor. Definitely
Yep.
claiming that. Okay, going on my recommending.
Mhm.
So this is something that I think is honestly like Madeline and I both love like beauty products and use like similar things, but I don't know why, but do you ever get in like a period where you're just like, I need new things? Like I need
Oh.
like new well, okay. Like not that you're like ran out and need new things, but like
No, yeah, yeah,
you're
yeah.
like I need to try new things.
You wanna try, yes.
Yeah. So, okay,
Yes.
this is very random, but I near here where I live in Southern Connecticut, there is, the Benefit, like, makeup stores, and that's where I go and, like, get my brows, like, done and shaped and waxed and all of those things, and every time I go in there, like, any Benefit brow product, like, I own and use all of that, but I don't know what it is. Every time I go into the store and they always, like, try to upsell me into something else, I'm always like, "No, no, thank you." Like, I use like, they're like, "Oh, do you need this moisturizer?" "No, no, thank you." Like, "I have a good one." So, anyway, I recently went in and got my eyebrows done, and while I was getting them done, she was like, "Hey, we have this like new product," and I don't know specifically when it came out. Who knows? Could have been out for months and months, but it's a clay mask, and she's like, "Do you want me to like put it on you while I'm doing your brows?" And I was like, "Yes, of course. Like, let me elevate this experience.
Mhm.
You don't have to tell me twice." And so, anyway, this product, so simple, just a clay mask, right? Honestly, I'm like, I have not seen a better clay mask in a really long time. And I'm like, shame on me for thinking Benefit cannot create this great of a product. And so it's like a purple, like little purple tin, like a clay mask. And honestly, like, she put it on, and I think it was also too, like I think that's what's so great about, like, when you're getting a service done, and even this is, like, such a small gesture, like, I was like, "I'm buying that." I need that because one thing for me, like, I loved it, like, on my nose, like, I wear glasses, so that's always my most, like, congested area,
Mhm.
of course, and so anyway, so simple, but I'm like, "What a great way to, like, boost this experience and like, make it more, like, worthwhile, and the reason I wanted to share it because 1, I thought it was such a good mask, I think for a good price as well, and from a company, Benefit, we probably, like, all know Benefit or have had some sort of product from theirs at one point in our life, but I just loved how, like, I felt like it made the whole client customer experience, like, a 10 out of 10. So I think that just I we talk about that all the time, but I'm like, I need to say it again, like, shout it from the rooftops on our platform here. So
Well, that and, I would love a like, a hashtag manage this is affiliate link, let's bring this one into existence because so my favorite TikToker, Avery Woods, which I feel like I've shared with
Mhm.
you all, like, I love her so much. We're best friends in my world, in my mind. And she just got sent they sent her to the Olympics, her and her best friend, so again, and
Oh,
like, they literally had only 2 tickets, and they were like, "You were our first pick, like, do you wanna go?" And she's like, "I'm not gonna turn that down."
right.
And even in one of her videos, she, like, mentioned, she's like, "I don't know why we don't talk about benefit enough," like, so I think that
Mhm,
is so funny that you're saying that because it really is.
mhm,
Like, they have great products, and I love hearing that, like, that is the best way you can upsell somebody is, like, again,
mm,
letting them experience it
mhm.
and
Yep,
then buy yeah, mhm.
yeah,
So I
yep.
love that.
So
Okay,
good.
gonna have to try that one out.
Mm. Yes, and for treating, I am treating myself because as you all know, I no longer drink coffee, and I go back and forth because I'm like, I haven't drank coffee, I still crave the taste of it, but I'm also like, I'm kind of weak, so I will easily fall back into old habits. So, anyway, I'm like on a huge I've always like loved tea as well, so I feel like I'm on an even like bigger tea journey.
Mm.
Um More so like green tea, like usually I'm like a herbal like tea, and so anyway, that's I'm getting sidetracked here. My treating is an iced matcha. Like anytime I'm at any cafe or by any place, but I'm also the other thing because I am so picky about a lot of things. I'm on the quest to find the best iced matcha.
Mm.
And I thought about this for I don't even know like what to like call it, but I'm like I need to create like a like a matcha in marketing like series where I'm like trying to go find like matchas like in the Tampa Bay and maybe you guys will keep me accountable to
Yeah.
this.
Yep.
But like it's one of those like one of my favorite TikTokers, I believe her name is Kate and I can't remember her last name. But she does the like running throughout New York City and she's always like, "Hey, run with me and I'll buy you a new pair of shoes."
Oh,
Um
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah, and she recently just did one with the founder of Say Beauty, and she was like, "Run with me and I'll buy you a pair of shoes," and the founder was like, "Run with me to Sephora and I'll buy you, like, our new Say Beauty products." I'm like, "Hats off to your marketing team. Love
Yeah.
that." And so anyway, on my quest to find, like, the best iced matcha, but I'm like, "I could turn this into content." Like, you know that sound, everything
Yes.
that's in my head, and I need you guys to keep me accountable, and I will share any content I create with that. But I think, on that note, like any spin you can take, like I don't know, we're getting so niche here, right? Like Madeline's a jewelry influencer, and I'm like a matcha influencer
I
now.
love this. I love this.
So that's my weekly report.
Okay, wait, one last thing. Because I meant to send this to you, but didn't. Because again, Jessica and I have multiple streams of communication, Slack, DMs, TikTok, Instagram, whatever. But so that running series, you wanna know
Mhm,
what series, and of course it's in New York, that I would love for us to be on this. Have you seen the guy who does the Subway hot takes? Like they'll hold the Metro card and he'll
mhm,
just that's his question. He's like, "What is your hot take?"
mhm,
I want to do that because again, I'd love for us to have like marketing and social media hot takes.
mhm.
Ugh,
Oh,
but
yeah.
I wanna be on that. I'm
Mhm,
manifesting that when we have our photos like, again, here that was an Easter egg, not an Easter egg, we have nothing planned, but we are manifesting
mhm.
hopefully getting a photo shoot in New York City
Yeah,
here soon.
yes.
That would be a dream though, for us to be on or be asked that.
Yeah,
So,
agreed, agreed. Yeah, we need
okay.
to make we're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
It's already gonna come to fruition, but yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
So should we dive into the water cooler?
Yes. This week, they ask or say, "Hey everyone, how do you handle it when business owners try to ask you for tips and tricks for free? I answer them as much as I can, but for personalized advice that requires research, to be fair to my paid customers, I try to direct them to my service guide and suggest booking a call to pick my brain. However, it seems like they just want to take advantage of my expertise and time. If I offer free sessions, I'd at least ask for a testimonial afterward. But when they just DM me back and forth asking about strategy, it's hard to set boundaries."
Ooh, well, we did write this on a cookie cake.
Yes.
So
That was my first
mm,
thought when you were like, "Oh, did you like the water cooler I picked?" I was like, "Yep,
mhm.
yep."
Yep. Yep. We frosting and everything on the cookie cake. But yeah, Madeline, do you wanna share your thoughts?
So, yes, so I think I speak for both of us when we tell you that to create this boundary, you just need to the simple DM back is, "Yep, what's a good email to send you this invoice?"
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
Then I
That's
guarantee
easy
you're gonna
stuff.
either hear crickets or
No,
you like, they'll actually send you their email and be like, "Oh,
mhm,
okay." Because picking one's brain for free is not
mhm.
something we do here. Mm-mm,
Correct. Correct.
mm-mm.
And I think that's one thing as well with, like I know kind of similar, but not, but, like, on a discovery call, if a client is, like, trying to ask you for, like, "Give me the full social media strategy that you would do," it's like, first of all,
Mm,
discovery call is 30 minutes, so I don't even
yeah,
think I could fit it within that time frame, but it's one of those things where, that call is a courtesy. So whether you're, like, doing it with this client, I think especially so many people are like always, I think, like DM a question. Actually, I think I got one yesterday or the day before of a social media manager who was like, "Hey, like, can you like share a little bit more about how like you guys manage clients as an agency?" Absolutely. I gave her 2 options because 'cause I'm like, "We have 2 options." Like, you can join the free Facebook group, the #Manage Collective, like, where you'll get, like, responses from hundreds and hundreds of members. I said, "Or if you want something one-on-one," I was like, "You can book, like, a one-on-one call with me. Like, here's
mhm,
the link to do that."
mhm,
And her response was, "Oh, I just actually had a question about this, like, specific thing with a tool." Awesome. We can cover that on the call, or you can post in the Facebook group. And I think sometimes with boundaries, you have to sometimes you have to repeat them, but more importantly, you just have to be firm on them. I think there's no reason why it needs to be why a boundary needs to be broken. And I think too, like for the sake of the water cooler where it says, I could do it in exchange for a testimonial, I think it would be much more worthwhile to get them to pay or they're not
mhm,
the best client for you because I think about it in the sense of I always like to work with clients who one I want to work with and like our team wants to work with, but also I know that they're like a great entrepreneur, like a great referral source for more clients. Because to be honest, I would rather them give that great testimonial to someone they know who can then hire me again to pick my brain versus
Mhm.
like let me have a testimonial in response and put it on my website that probably no one will read, let's be honest. So I think that's
Yeah.
kind of where, I think about it in the sake of like, what will I get out of it, right? Obviously, I can get like the money for them paying my invoice, but if they can also like also go through that, then they get the best thing from me. And I know too, like if you do a free version and you're like, okay, let me do free, let me get a testimonial. If you think that works for you, it's you're gonna have like a level of I don't know if resentment is the best word, but do you know what I mean? Like you're gonna have a level
No.
of you're not gonna give your 110% because you're not being compensated. So and to be honest, why should you give any more than you should if you're not being paid? So I think you get what you pay for and you don't get what you don't pay for in business.
Mhm. I completely agree. And one other thing I will add to that is maybe you're struggling with imposter syndrome where that might be because I know I feel like that's where because I've definitely been in this situation before, like 100%. And
Mhm.
I feel like I even back in 2018, probably, where it's like, oh, but a free testimonial.
Mhm.
And so and in those situations, the resentment definitely came into play. So, and I now looking back, I know I was clearly the reason why I agreed to it was imposter syndrome, where you should be so flattered, first of all, that that people are coming to you. Like that it's annoying, but you should
Mhm.
also be flattered where again multiple people are asking you for strategy advice and all of that, but now maybe you need to ask yourself, is it time to increase my pricing as well?
Mhm.
Or add or create a new service because maybe you haven't been um offering like consulting because honestly that's what this is, where you're not giving them the full on strategy, you're giving them a teaser
Mhm.
where this is what I would maybe do, and then normally at least for me that it does get them to then they realize, but in that consulting call they're like, oh, these are great ideas but I don't know how to execute it, and then you get to go in with that upsell.
Mhm.
So
Yeah. 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 I love that. Such great advice. Such great advice. Yeah, so hopefully
thank
that's
you.
helpful. Yeah, hopefully that's helpful if you guys are also feeling like you're receiving requests, messages, emails, what have you, around, "Hey, can I pick your brain?" You can go to at hashtag
Mhm.
manage and forward them our little cookie cake photo if you don't wanna say it yourself. We're
You can
totally
eat
cool with that.
yeah, use it. Spread the
Mhm.
word.
Yeah.
We love it. We want those shares.
Yes, 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 that's probably, like that's how we're asking for it, but hey, if it helps you out on the flip side as well, win,
Yeah.
win, win.
And now I'm just thinking where obviously that's gonna be a cover photo for one of next week's little segments, and you can just be like, "This is a great
Mhm.
podcast,"
Yeah.
and then we'll just also insert the image there.
Yep. Yep. I love that. I love that. Should we dive into what's been on our feeds lately?
Yes, I'm excited for this because I read what was on your feed, but I've not looked into it, so I'm excited for you
Mhm.
to explain to me and the audience.
Yes. So I saw this a couple of days ago, and so it's a TikTok, really simple. Like I don't even know if it's 10 seconds long, but it is Kind Bar's CEO handing out product on the plane. And the reason why I share this, because I feel like this is such a very random niche thing for me to share on my feed. But it came at a time where, as a team, we were kind of debriefing about a specific client. And I think one thing for us is as business owners and maybe entrepreneurs who are a little marketers who are a little too passionate about what we do, a big thing for us is, how do we get like product in people's hands? And I think sometimes there is a trade off, whether it's like free product, whether it's like free product for UGC or for an influencer whether it's something that's gifted, maybe it's even a discount. And again, I feel like that's a little bit of a trade off as well. But what I love about this video is that it is such a very simple it's a very simple thing, like spreading the word about your business. And for this, obviously Kind Bar is a very well-known brand. Most
Mm.
people know what they sell. Do they have they ever bought one? Who knows? Like there's so many granola bar options at the store. So maybe they've never purchased a bar, or maybe it's a flavor. They're not sure if they want to commit to the whole package, but nonetheless, it leaves a really good feeling about the brand. And
'Cause
I
it's
think
kind. It's
right.
so on brand, like, it's
Yes.
so on brand.
Yes, yes. And I think it's so funny, the comments, it's on TikTok, so some of the comments are like, "Why are you passing these out in first class? Like, coach needs them too." And it's so funny because the CEO is replying, he's like, "I gave it to everyone, like, anyone who wanted one got one." And so, I just think it's such a simple thing, but it leaves you feeling so great about the brand, and I think that's a topic that we always talk about here, like, again, when I got my eyebrows done at the Benefit Brow Bar, and they, like, used the mask, I'm like, give me the mask. Like I am going to buy this. It makes me feel like so much better. Or like, we talk about like getting your hair done. There's some blowout chains
Mm.
that we don't love and there's some that I do love. And I but because I think they I leave feeling even better than when I entered. And so anyway, all that to say, I think a simple gesture goes a long way. So I wanted to share that on my feed.
I love that, and would you not agree that I feel like a lot of these airlines are upping their snack game? Again, I don't sit in first class yet, but from what I've seen, there's been one time recently, and I'm trying to think, was it a year ago? I did get upgraded to first class. I think it was last year. I can't remember where I was going.
Mhm.
And obviously, like, that is the jackpot when you get upgraded to that's what it
Mhm.
was. I actually had a seat. I can't remember why. So, like, it something happened or something. Like, I wasn't I think Brendan and I were on this same flight. I don't know, but
Mhm.
I already had a seat, like, in coach, and the lady came to me and she's like, "Do you wanna be
Mhm.
moved to first class?" So it wasn't even like I was already sitting on the plane. I was like, "Well,
Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah, of
And
course.
I just remember, I feel like I can't here I am. I can't remember, but I feel like the snack game was I was like, "What is this?" Because they were name brands
Yeah,
that I was just like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay." It
yeah. I
wasn't
think it
peanuts.
right, right. It was like something more elevated. And I think even I flew a JetBlue flight last week and the snacks were even like I mean, they weren't name brands by any means, so that kind of bummed me out. But also JetBlue does come first class, so maybe that's why. But the snacks were a little bit better than expected, but I think there's so much room for like innovation with airline snacks. And I think
Mhm.
they could really do like and there's so many brands that could like kind of step in. Like did we talk about this on the podcast? But Poppy is in Chipotle now?
No, we haven't talked about that, but
Okay,
yes. Yes, they
yes.
are.
And so to me, like, okay, huge, great, we love it. But like, why is a Poppy or Olipop or even like, oh my gosh, give me another brand to like just shoot up and like be on the options for like an airline beverage?
Right.
Like, I think
I
that
think
that
of
could really open the doors.
have you heard of Puffs? Well, not it's like now I need to look it up, but it's chickpea puff. What's the name of it?
Mm, yeah, I think I can like envision what you're saying.
Hang on. I have to look this up because that's gonna bother me. Hippies,
Oh, yes.
Hippeas, like that one. I love
Yeah.
hippies. Those are my favorite.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
The nacho vibes. That
Ooh,
one's
I've
my favorite.
never tried the nacho one.
So good. So good. I
I
can eat
need
the
that.
whole bag, whole bag. But
Guys, we're
s
recording this, like, so close to, like, our end of day, so we're
I am
like
so hungry.
yeah.
I am so and
Insert
speaking
music here for snack break.
yeah. And speaking of snacks and speaking of Chipotle, that's a great segue
Oh, I
into
didn't
what's
think
on
about that.
my feed, which is this one is gonna catch you guys off guard. I don't think anybody was expecting this. I don't even know if I
No.
can call it a collaboration, but Chipotle has launched its first ever beauty product with Wonder Skin, which I've never really heard of Wonder Skin,
Mm-mm.
but so maybe that was smart of them to do this. And so what it is a guac proof Wonder lip stain. And honestly, I have to applaud the product developers or because I feel like
Mhm.
product packaging engineers, whoever, this one chef's kiss A plus in my book, A plus plus because so it's a little weird. So the lip stain itself is green. It is green and it's
Oh.
shimmery, okay?
Oh,
But they
okay.
have a few and then you leave it on for, like, 2 to 3 minutes, and then you wipe it off. The best part, the wipe off looks like a it literally comes in so, okay, let me backtrack. So, the packaging let me paint the picture for you guys. So, you get it. If they wanna send me one, that'd be cool, or I might need to buy it myself just to say I
Mhm.
bought
Yeah.
experience it. But so you get the lip stain and it's wrapped up in this silver foil. And so you're unwrapping it like a burrito. Okay. So
Mhm.
like already, and then you put the lip stain on and then you wipe it off. And the wipe off looks like a Chipotle napkin.
Oh, that is so
Like,
good.
bravo. And
Mhm.
I just pulled up their website. It looks like they have 3 shades. So again, I feel the longer you keep the stain on, the darker, it will be,
Mhm.
but they also so when I saw this, I obviously had to do more research and I went to their Instagram and it appears that they partnered, maybe not partnered, I don't know if partner is the right word. This one influencer who is known for this is gonna sound so weird. Like again, I feel like this is if you're wondering if you can be an influencer, you can be an influencer. Anybody can literally be an influencer at
Mhm.
this point in life.
Yeah.
And she eats burritos in her car and she like will have a full face of makeup on and I think who knows if this was an Easter egg, but she in one of her videos that I saw was like they really need to make a what how did she say it? I'm trying to find the video, but they need to make a lipstick approved whatever like that stays on
Mhm.
while you're eating your burrito. Sorry, that was so
Mhm.
wordy.
Yeah.
Again, it
Yeah.
is close to our like dinner
Mhm.
time. But in conclusion, I it's fun, it's unexpected, which I think is Chipotle's brand in
Mhm.
general.
Yeah.
Anything Chipotle, their social media manager, like you have to have humor. If you're gonna work for Chipotle's marketing team, you have to have humor, and they are comedians. They are comedians
Mhm.
on the side, whether they know it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. No, they do such a good job. No. I interesting. Interesting collab, but I'm excited to see, like, what doors it opens for, like,
Yeah.
other brands to do similar but different ideas here.
Mhm. Mhm. And I feel like that is a good segue into our topic of the day though too,
Agreed.
which is should wait, I don't want to butcher this. Hang on, let me pull up the sauna. Should your social media manager be the face of the account? I'm gonna let you kick it off because I like
Okay.
we've been talking about this and I
Mhm.
need it to come off strong where I'm
Yeah.
just getting what am I even saying? I don't know.
Yeah, so we've been thinking about this for a while, and I think we've had a couple of, like, random conversations around it, and this is something that when I'm like thinking about my favorite brands and just what they're doing on social media, they are leveraging their social media manager or marketer as the face of the brand. And there was another way that I said it earlier and I can't remember what I said, but it'll come to me at some point. But I think the biggest takeaway from this is it it puts a face behind the brand. It gives you room for personality. It gives you room to make connections. It gives you room to sell. And I think it also humanizes the brand even more. So one of my favorites and is always top of mind because they are all over my For You page is Jenna Palick from Fun on Weekdays podcast and does her own social media content creation. Used to work for TikTok. I just know her whole resume apparently, but she now works as Waterboy's social media manager and she's crushing it in what she's done, but for her to launch her presence on the Waterboy TikTok, it was not great beforehand. I mean, they had some really cool content before, but there was really no main creative direction around the content. Like, I don't think they were really staying on top of posting and consistency and, all the great things that we bring as social media managers. And so I think that that really opens the door for what other brands can do because Waterboy, right? Electrolyte hydration
Mhm.
for your water. So I think that that has been so cool to kind of see that evolution of her in this role. I also, love Set Active's TikTok as well, and he no longer works
Yes.
he no
Sorry.
longer works for them. He no longer works as this content creator for TikTok, but, Sam was behind all of the Set Active videos for quite a while, and I think really grew the account to I don't know off the top of my head, but, really, really big, compared to, what it was doing before, and I think this is something that more and more brands are going to do, and I have kind of, a hot take, I guess, about this, if you're a social media manager and if you want to be, the content creator behind the brand, to me, that's, a more, elevated package that you offer to your clients because your social media manager and marketer and probably strategist all up in one title, but
Mhm.
you're also having to become the content creator and be the face and the voice behind the content as well. And I just really think that that should be compensated for what you're doing. And so I know we always talk about content creation and what that really looks like, but when you're in this role for one of your clients, you're creating a ton and putting yourself out there and honestly too taking yourself away from other projects and clients you could work on. So those are a couple of my favorites and I guess my maybe hot take around what you should charge if you're a social media manager. So Madeline, I'm dying to know what you think about this as well.
No, I agree with everything you said, and what you just said about it being a higher package, I completely agree because when I was going through I think it's funny because, like, we all know I'm still the in-house marketer for a boutique, but when I let's take a journey back when I was applying to, like, 9 to 5 jobs again, and the reason why I'm, like, hesitant on that, because who's to say, like, I wouldn't apply for 9 to 5s again, but I feel like we
Mhm.
finally are closing that chapter. We're in a good place with, like, the boutique and with the buzzing blonde and with hashtag manage. So anyways, but when I was going through some job descriptions, sometimes they would include in that job description, and a lot of them would say needs to be comfortable in front of the camera, and then would explain that they wanted you to be filming content for them. And I just thought that was interesting, and I respected the brands who would do that more because oftentimes I think a lot of brands want that, just are scared to
Mhm.
say that
Mhm.
because they don't want to pay you more because they know they should be paying you more for
Yeah.
that.
Yep.
So I applauded the ones who did because I'm like, "Oh." And I do think there are multiple types of we know that not all social media managers, marketers, strategists are the same. There are the
Mhm.
social I think oh my gosh, I didn't send it to you. I need to send it to you, but Amanda actually sent it to me. And it was there's 2 types of social media managers where it's the one who like, is all for being on the camera and then the ones who aren't. And you've said,
Mhm.
like, where it's like, I would say, I was like, I told her, I was like, I feel like this is straight up Jessica and I, where it's like,
Mhm.
I'm more than okay to like hop on our stories and all of that. And just
Mhm.
cause, like, no, but like Jessica is our vlogger here, you know? So it's
Yeah.
just, I think it's funny. And I do think that your social media manager should be the face of your account. I think there are some situations or some instances where that might not be the case all the time, but who's better to sell your product or services than the person marketing it?
Mhm.
And like your sales team? No, I'm sorry.
No.
No, we're marketers. We're not salespeople. And
Mhm.
I think we all have a love hate. Like we don't like sale. Like yes, we respect. We know that we need salespeople sometimes,
Mhm.
but
Agreed. Yeah. No, I agree, and I think that's so interesting how I think to the point, like, brands don't wanna pay for that added because it's you really are, like, putting 2 roles into 1, content
Mhm,
creator and social media manager, and I think that's something that and I know we could and I know for the sake of the length of this episode, we can't go too far into it, so we might need another one as well, but every time I see something so successful on social media, everyone is like, "Hats off to the intern. Hats off to the intern," where it's 9 times out of 10, it's probably like a Gen Z, a millennial, maybe even a Gen Xer, like, marketing agency doing all of those things that but again, not to go too, like, off topic, but I think that it's something that you can certainly offer to clients, and I know we've talked about, like, a little bit, like, offering exclusivity. I think this is, like, another unique thing that can really, like, set you apart for, like, clients that you can work with and do work with, and it gives you more of an opportunity to control the narrative of, like, the creative that you have as a marketer as well, because I think we all can agree that depending on the client and, like, where we are in location to the client, we might not have a ton of content, but if we step into that content creator role, you'll never fear, "Okay, I'm running out of content, I don't have enough videos or photos, like, what do I do?" And so I think that's
mhm.
where that can really kind of benefit you on that side as well.
I also think you could pitch it to your clients also where if they're not wanting to spend money on influencers or have a budget where that's a good segue, in my opinion, for you to ask for a raise.
Mhm.
Ask for a raise, suggest a different package,
Yep.
depending on if you are in, depending on like where you are you an in-house marketer? Are you solopreneur? Are you you know, where there's just so many ways, but I think I'm thinking of it in corporate girly. So I'm
Mhm.
speaking for our corporate girlies. We see you. We see you. We hope you're listening as well. Where that could be a raise though, because we also understand that we have clients like that who
Mhm.
they want the influencer content, and then we as social media managers know we're like, okay, but are you prepared for that? And then they have sticker shock,
Mhm.
and we're like,
Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. And so the solution, you still are finding the solution for them, and you're like,
Mhm.
okay, then hi,
Yep.
I have a pretty
100
face. Like,
100%. Yep. Yeah, and I think too, like, the willingness to create that content for their brand, like
yeah, that's it.
yeah, yeah, it's such a huge thing.
Like, because with that, like with you, you are the face. Like, you know that you're taking on a big responsibility because
Mhm.
you now are not that you weren't already, but you really are a reflection of that brand now. So like you kind of you have to embody everything that like if the company goes down, you're going down. Like if you have bad PR, you're
Mhm.
gonna be the face and you have to take the backlash of that stuff too, which again, show me the money.
Mhm. 100%. 100%. And that's where like the amount of crazy influencer rates that I've gotten back in my inbox over the past couple of weeks. I told Maddie in Harmony on our call today, like, hey, we're all in the wrong industry at this.
We are.
So I don't know, 2024, these content creators, influencers are really raising their rates, but I think it just shows that there's a difference in because I think the last thing I'll add as well, like the difference that you as a social media manager can make in the content of you creating it, like you strategizing it, creative directing it, being starring in it, like I get that's a lot. But it's gonna be so much better than going back and forth with the content creators and the influencers you're working with and, "Hey, guys, this isn't right. You said this wrong. Like, this should be a little different. Like, we need this to be tweaked. Like, this was not the creative brief." And so, anyway, I think it can avoid a lot of back and forth and logistical things as well.
Yes, and I'll add one last thing to that. I also to all our social media girly pops listening, I also I wanna see us all in our influencer era too because I and sometimes you have the clients who, like, you since you aren't the face or whatever, sometimes you feel weird sharing the accounts that you manage,
Mhm,
but, like, can we normalize though? Because again, seeing like harmony and the one client where it's just like your engagement rate is going to go up. Your engagement
mhm,
rate because we're all going to be hyping each other up and be like, "Oh my gosh, like your social media
mhm.
manager needs a raise." Like this is
Right,
such a good
right.
video. That was such wow, that was such a great post. And then you
Yeah,
can go back to your client and be like, "Haha, see, I
look,
need a raise."
right.
Yeah.
100%. No, I agree, I agree. I think that helps us all, like, step into that role and just be more equipped, and I think we'll see that, like, I mean, should we, like, make, like, a prediction for, like, end of this year,
Yeah.
2025? Like, I
Yes.
definitely see more social media managers, like, stepping into their own as the content creators. Not only for themselves, because hey, we're doing it, you guys should do
Yes.
it, like,
Mhm.
this is the time that we're in, and I think the influencer creator economy is so fascinating, and it is a billion-dollar industry. Like, we will definitely, like,
Mhm.
talk about that soon, but there is so much potential, I think, for all
And
of us.
And I think we are getting I think this was one of our 2024 predictions. Correct me if I'm wrong. If it wasn't, it should have been. But there's a new wave of influencers coming through too, where even Avery Woods, like my favorite TikToker, I look at I just I think back to some of like the OG influencers and she just on her podcast interviewed Jaclyn Hill. And
Mm,
like Jacqueline, she even said, she's like, "My 15-year-old self is, like, pooping herself because
mhm.
what is life?" You
Yeah.
know? And so, I just think that if you're feeling discouraged too, 'cause I think we've both attested, like, we both get kinda discouraged as well,
Mhm,
but we just need to be like, "Whatever no,
mhm.
it's our time. It's our time."
100%. 100%. I love that. I love that. Okay, I think that's, like, the best note to end on. I'm, like, not even gonna
Yes.
add anything because I can't even top that in this moment. So, perfect. Madeline, do you wanna close us out? Is that the best way to say that? Close us
Yeah.
out? Again, we're at that point, guys, where forming sentences are bear with us here, but Madeline's gonna
Y
close us out.
yes. So if you would leave us a review on where your favorite podcast streaming services, whether this is on you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, or even on YouTube, if you would leave us a review, we would greatly appreciate it because by doing that, you're helping us skyrocket to the top 10. You're helping us make our dreams come true for 2024. And if you haven't already, be sure to like and follow us on Instagram. You can join our free Facebook group, subscribe to our newsletter. I'm like, what else?
Agreed. I think that's everything. We're getting our stuff in order. As you can tell from this episode, we're episode 91. So let's like unofficially officially announce that we're doing the countdown to our 100th episode. And we're planning for some really, really cool things because we have a couple of really loyal listeners. Shout out Amanda. We need
Mhm.
like an Amanda shout out.
No,
Like,
and
like
and also don't be surprised when Amanda you all will get to meet Amanda
yeah, oh,
because
for sure.
like
Yes,
she's
Amanda,
gonna be
you're the
on the
secret
pot.
coming on. Yes, 100%. We need
Yeah.
Amanda's energy on the show for sure. So anyway, just wanted to let you guys know we are getting close to the 100th episode, which we're so excited about. So stay tuned because we have some pretty cool things we're planning on, and who knows, more things will kind of come from that. But yeah, other than that, thank you guys so much for listening to the length of this episode. We appreciate all of you, and we'll be back next week with another episode of #Managed. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you haven't already, hit that follow button, and if you really love us, be sure to subscribe wherever you are listening from.
And if you want to be one of our online besties, you can shoot us a DM over at #managed on Instagram and let us know what your biggest takeaway was from this episode. Or, you could also share all your deepest, darkest secrets. Kidding, but we mean it when we say you can shoot us a DM. We love building real, authentic relationships with you.